Alright, we have a winter storm moving across the east. Let's go over our latest projected totals. And a few of our global models are pointing towards the potential for a very cold and wintry pattern to kick off March as well. So I'll quickly discuss what I think March may look like for us across the states. Alright, let's talk about the weather. Our winter storm is making its way into the Ohio Valley right now, and it should make its way across this region over the next 24 hours or so. We still have some heavy snow falling into central and southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. Another 4 to 6 inches on top of what's already fallen in this region is possible. The most likely scenario for northern Tennessee and Kentucky is somewhere between 2 to 5 inches. We'll likely see those heavier totals through central and southern Kentucky. Appalachia from North Carolina all the way up through West Virginia could also see 2 to 5 inches. We are still seeing the potential for a 1-inch day in Charlotte, although once again we're probably going to have some mixing issues here, so it's going to be close. A lot of times the areas on the southern side of these systems do underperform. Our main target area still does look to be southern Maryland and southeastern Virginia, where we could actually see some overperformances. Raleigh-Durham area is still looking like 2 to 4 is possible. This right here is a look at our national blend, so it's taking all of our forecasts and kind of averaging them out. I've said this a lot, but this is widely considered one of the best models to look at, especially in the short range. And this does highlight that same target area as well. For people wondering, is our winter over after this? Like I've been saying, I don't think so. Obviously, the GFS still wants a ton of snow out east moving forward. So let's get into why some of these globals are seeing this heavy push of cold air and snow in the east still. What we're looking at right here is our European ensemble Arctic Oscillation teleconnection. This helps to tell us the strength of the polar jet. A stronger polar jet is going to help to hold that colder air in over the Arctic, typically making the lower 48 a little bit warmer. And a weaker polar jet allows that jet stream to kind of slip down to the south and bring colder air down to the states. So we can see the week ahead this polar jet wanting to strengthen. And we are expecting a decent warm up from coast to coast during this time frame. But here we go again, moving forward, another cold trend. We can see our NAO wanting to go neutral to possibly negative around this time frame as well, which would suggest potentially a more active winter pattern out east. We can see down here this initial warm-up as we move into next week. But as we move into March, we start to see some ridging out over the west, including over Alaska, and potentially a ridge building out to our east. That would be our negative NAO. This is what we would call an omega block because it looks like the Greek letter omega. And this can set up an active winter pattern again out east. That was our Euro model. This is our GFS, seeing a very similar outcome. That setup right there is why you see the American model setting up our jet stream like this. This is kind of a positive PNA look, where we have ridging out west again and troughing in the east. So right now for our winter lovers out east, it's a pretty good pattern moving into March as well. Obviously on here you can see the chance for multiple snowstorms again. This is pretty far out, so we need a little bit more time. But if someone were to ask me what the next 3 to 4 weeks would look like, well, I'd expect a slight warm up across the entire country next week, and then I would expect a colder and more wintry pattern to return to the east, and I think the west may be stuck in some ridging in the beginning of March at least. Of course, if I see this outlook change, I will update you guys right away. I appreciate you watching this video. If you like this type of content, feel free to throw me a follow or sub. I make posts like this every single day and I stream every single night. I'll see you in the next video.